Hello guys, hope all is well. Today we're going to do something a little different from what I normally do, and we're going to test out what the yield bonus is for the Nexat harvester versus a base game harvester. So I've got a oat field here, and it's currently 100% yield bonus and 100% fertilized. And what I'm going to do is save this, and then I'll harvest it with the base game equipment, and then I'll exit the save and then harvest it with the Nexat equipment. That way we know for sure that we got the exact field with both machines. Now I did this a little earlier and I did the manual reset of the field and I got slightly different numbers. So I'm going to do it this way so that we know for sure that they're the same. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll run the test, write down the numbers with the base game, and then do the same for the Nexat, and that'll require me to back out of the game, go back in. Okay, and yeah, so this is the stuff that we're going to use here. Okay, so we've got the base game harvester here, which is a New Holland CR11 with its default header, which is the McDon. And yeah, pretty nice little setup. And then we'll verse that against the Nexat harvester, which they bumped it up a little bit so that we could get a little more harvest in it, a little more yield on our harvest. And the reason they did that is because you're technically running over the same tracks, so you're kind of skipping a little bit of field. And on top of that, you're also not compacting the work area, I guess is what we'll call it, the field area, the growth area, whatever you want to call it. You're not compacting that as much, so therefore your yield would be a little higher. And that's the whole point of the whole system, among the many other things. So they really thought of it all when it comes to the Nexat. And just the information that's coming out on this thing is overwhelming, and it definitely is next generation. Okay, so we'll go ahead and with this save, we're good now. I saved it just a moment ago, so I just got to make sure not to save again so I don't have to redo this test again. And I'm going to go ahead and hop in the harvester here. Now, I did want to kind of compare the difference in the processes for each. So this one, you've got a haul this trailer, and the Nexat, you kind of got everything in one. Now you can put the header on its own trailer, and some places you might have to get it in and out of, because it does take up a little bit of space when that header is connected to it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get this harvester hooked up and do some field work. And we all know how to do this. This is nothing new. Just go ahead and connect it, and then we want to fold it. Now we also want to select the harvester itself and unfold it, and we want to make sure that the straw swap is on. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and harvest this field. Now, well, I'll just fast forward to this part, but I do want to show that I did the whole field, so I'm going to just, fast forward it, show you guys what happened. Okay, here we are at the end of the row, and let's see what our total is. Okay, so this matches the first test I did for this harvester, which is 6,900 liters. And I'm going to write that down, and then we will collect the straw. Okay, so something I kind of want to take note of here is we have 4 rows of swath. So I'm going to write that down as well. 4 rows, that way we've got everything covered here. I really want to take note of everything we can as far as this whole bit goes. Now, I guess I don't really need to worry too much about where I park this harvester because I'm gonna be restarting the game anyway. But yeah, so let's go ahead and collect the straw. And on this one, I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse it and speed it up. I want you guys to see me do it, but I don't want to take up too much time doing it. So here we go. Alrighty, so we got that finished up, and it came out to 39,214. In comparison to my last one, pretty close. My last one was 39,616, so not far off on this one. So we might not have had to redo this test, but I just wanted to make sure that this was as detailed as possible. Okay, so I'm going to restart the game. I've got these wrote down. We got 66,900 for the yield. We have 39,214 for the straw. And then that was 4 rows of straw for the base game harvester, the New Holland over there. And I'm going to restart the game, or restart the save. No, I'll restart the game. Why not? That way I don't accidentally save. Because a lot of times when you go back to the menu, it saves. But anyway, BRB. Okay, here we are back in the same save. It was unsaved, thankfully, so we're right where we want to be. The field is exactly how we had it in the last test. That way we know for sure it's the exact same for this test. Alright, so this time we're going to do it in the Nexat harvester module thingy. Yeah. Just go with it. Okay, so anyway, we're going to go ahead and hop in our Nexat here. And then we'll get her lined up. Now, they increased the yield on this to give it an extra 10%. Is what they're saying. So we're really just kind of confirming that, I guess. And like I said earlier in the video, they just did that because with this system, you get a better yield because you're not compacting the field like you would with a normal harvester because of how much tire area it took up. Okay, so let's make sure that straw swath is on. Okay. So we should be able to just crank her up and go. Got her lowered. Let's give it a little bit here just to make sure. Yep. We are taking it on. And we're swathing. Now this does put down 2 separate swaths, so that's something I kind of wanted to note a little earlier, that it does do a double swath here. So unfortunately, unless you windrow it or something like that, you'll have to do 2 passes per pass of this. And width-wise, they're fairly comparable. I didn't even think to check to see what the width difference is. I think they're pretty close to the same. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this field and get it knocked out for you guys, and yeah. Okay, so off the bat, the Nexat does seem a little quicker. Well, it does go a mile an hour faster, mile per hour faster. We were going 7 instead of 6, so that kind of helped, I guess. But yeah, overall, it really went through the field rather quickly. I'll go ahead and park it out of the way here. Give myself room to work the, oop, forgot to turn it off, the forage harvester there. Yeah, very nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and hop in this bad boy here. Wait. I totally didn't even look what the total was there. It was 7,628. And my last test, I had 9,847, so it was a little off. So maybe the way I did it previously was not the right way to do it. So that's interesting how we get the same numbers on the first field, or the first on the base game, but we're getting different numbers on the Nexat. So maybe I have one setting different in the field update or script thingy. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and collect the straw and see how much straw is there, and then we will show all the totals. Now, like I said before, the downside of doing it this way is that we there it goes. The downside of doing it this way is that we have twice as many rows of the straw swath here. But I don't know. I don't see myself collecting straw too much. I prefer to just get it done, get the harvest done, and move on to the next step. Which in real life, you don't really collect the straw. You kind of leave it, let it fall back into the field so that it can help kind of give the field the nutrients it needs. But anyway, I'm going to collect it, and we'll see what the total is. All right, so we got that finished up, and we got 36,545 liters of straw there. And okay, so let's go ahead and look at all the numbers here. For base game, we got 6,900 liters of oat for our yield, and we got 39,214 liters of straw with 4 rows. And then with the Nexat, we got 7,628 liters of oat for the yield, and we got 36,545 liters of straw at 8 rows, which took twice as long to collect. It was, in the end, it took about the same amount of time each, I guess, because the Nexat did go a little faster, but took me twice as long to collect all the straw, which I normally wouldn't do, but anyway. So in total, that brings us to a yield increase for the Nexat, which is 10%, 10.55 in this case, so 10.5% increase on yield between the Nexat and the base game harvester, our New Holland there. And then the straw was actually a slight decrease by 6.81%. So about, yeah, around 6%. Sounds about right. And definitely much different numbers than the other tests. So this is the way I'm going to do these from now on, is using the save game to my advantage. So yeah, with the Nexat, you do get the advantage of the yield increase by 10.5%, give or take. And then, unfortunately, if you want straw, you're going to lose it a little bit there. Plus, it takes a little longer to do it. So, is there an advantage in the game to leaving the straw on the field? I don't believe so currently, but maybe that'll be something they put in precision farming. That would be nice. Help give the yield there. But yeah, so what'd you guys think? Was this video useful, or would you like to see more tests like this? And yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. Plus, I learned some stuff, so that's good. But yeah, so 10% increase in yield, which is great. Not bad. And it gets it done quicker. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we appreciate you watching.